want to officially welcome you guys to Mind Token AMA today on the Beehivecolony. If you guys can hear me, if there are no feedback, anything like that, I would just go ahead.
Sounds good.
Oh, great. So I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert, everyone. The Mind Token vision is to enable anyone that needs mental health and healthcare support to access services, regardless of whether they have great insurance or a job with a large company that uses a provider. And this is all by staking on the portal and becoming a member of the community. I had to give you a glimpse of such great vision that they have right there. So, but without further ado, I'd like to invite to the microphone Ed. I understand that Stefan is not here. He's probably at work. So he is a co-founder of Mind Token. Ed, you are welcome to today's AMA. Glad you could make it, man.
Hey, thanks for having us. Yeah, Stefan, unfortunately, he had to work today. He does have a tendency of sneaking off into a corner and hopping in anyway. So maybe just get your mods to keep an eye out for him, because he might come in and ask to be unmuted. He has a tendency of showing up even when he can't. So
yeah. I was in the community just a few minutes ago when I saw he took a photo at work. So I knew he probably not gonna join as we start, but probably as we go into the AMA, he's gonna hop in. It's all right.
Good chance. And if not, I know the project well. I can handle it. It's nice to have him with us though.
Yeah, sure. Most of the time, you actually do the talking. I noticed even for the AMAs that I have been part of. So sorry again about the last time. We had to reschedule the AMA for some family emergency and something like that.
Hey, I have a family, and I would absolutely walk out of here right now if one of them had a problem in the middle of this. So the kids are always going to come first. No stress.
Yeah, sure. We appreciate your understanding. Thank you so much. All right, so before we get to the project itself, we would like you to, as is customary, that you tell us about your background and experience in the world of cryptos, as well as your core team. Stefan is not here, but if you could just tell us a few things about his crypto background, when you got into cryptos, and basically your background.
So my name is Ed Curvan. I live in Parksville, British Columbia. That's on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada here. And Stefan, he lives one town over from me. He's about a half an hour, 40-minute drive from me. And I've been in crypto since 2015. I was interested in it much earlier than that, but I got frustrated trying to learn how to CPU mine Bitcoin, and there were no resources back then, so I played Minecraft instead. C'est la vie. But I built a lot of cool stuff when I could have been making money. And so I have a lot of experience in the social media realm in regards to, I've run a lot of torrent groups. I was a part owner for a while of a torrenting website. I was also one of the founders of one of the largest torrent sharing groups on the old peer-to-peer platform WinMX. We were second or third largest file sharing group in there at the time. So I've been along for the evolution of blockchain and of peer-to-peer sharing, and a lot of people don't know that Bitcoin is a lot like torrenting technology. You've got seeds and you're sharing and so on. So, transaction confirmations and things are very similar. But anyway, Stefan, also, I'm a horticulturalist. I've owned a landscaping company here for 22 years. And so, my experience with dealing with the public is very extensive. I've been building landscapes in my community since I was 24 years old. I went to university for that as well. So, and Stefan, he came into crypto actually fairly recently. He came in last year. During the bull run, somebody who has some experience, that as soon as the prices start going up, everybody's in your inbox and they're like, how do I get in? When do I get in? Is now a good time? And so on. And so Stefan approached me, and honestly, at first, because of the volume of so-called normies I was getting, I was a little bit like, slow down. But he kept coming, and his interest was real. And he kept asking me, how can we create a project? And I said, well, number one is we need a decent utility, something that adds value to the space and actually, does something. Because I'm not. You'll never see me associated heavily with a meme coin, not because I don't like meme coins, but just because I'm in the space for utility. It's what I like. And so at the time, Stefan was going through a divorce, and he doesn't mind if I share this. He was going through a divorce,
No,
and oh, here he is. He always
Oh,
shows up. I
yeah,
told you.
he's there.
I told you he can't stay away.
Oh, yeah.
You want to take that one, Stefan? He might not have the greatest reception,
I
so
don't mind at all. I'm kind of half here.
okay, yeah, he's lagging right
Yeah.
out. So yeah. So anyways, the company he works for a fish farming company here on the island here, and they offer LifeWorks benefits, employee assistant packages. And Stefan actually was using their therapy services throughout his divorce, as well as the legal services. And so at a certain point, he came to me and said, why can't we bring mental health and e-health to crypto? And I saw it at first as a really big hurdle. Like, it's a big thing to bring that kind of a legitimate utility to the space. And so it took us a year to get to where we're sitting now. We started off, we made our corporation, Mental Services Inc. And then we made our corporate Coinbase account, and we started to have meetings with LifeWorks as to how we could retain their services without running afoul of their legal department, and without putting us at risk of upsetting them and losing the partnership. And so they were really, really responsive, which was amazing. We thought we would have a much harder sell with them than we did, but they pretty quickly took interest in us, especially once we have a corporation. We're clearly here to talk turkey, so to speak. And so they did some really cool stuff for us. They adapted their contract to suit our needs a little bit and keep us legally safe. They rolled back their onboarding code a little bit, so it was easier for us to integrate with them. They talk about us in the background. We had blue checks and addiction services and mental health services following our Twitter before we opened a Telegram or did any advertising, which was really, really impressive to me. So their eyes are on us. Now, what LifeWorks is it's the world's largest e-health provider. They service 180 countries with full mental health and well-being services, and they offer the telemedicine and legal services in 60 countries. That's the gold package. And so we're able to continually onboard countries, up to 60 countries, through LifeWorks. Right now, we've got our services live in Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. And basically how it works is that a user comes onto into our systems, they buy some tokens, they stake the tokens, and then they get an onboarding access. They put an email in, it goes to us, we forward it to LifeWorks, and then they send you an invite email. And from there, you're able to access, as I say, general practitioners, doctors. You're able to access 24/7 therapies. You're able to talk to a lawyer. There's a fitness app with custom workout plans, and you can talk to a fitness expert. There are financial experts that you can set a meeting with and discuss your personal situation and needs. There's a myriad of workshops, and there's perks, and it goes on and on. Maybe a little later, if we're feeling confident with the connection here, I'll screencast quickly. But as I say, the last couple of days of screencasting have not gone well in Telegram. So,
All right. All right. Great stuff. I just wanted to slow you down just a bit right there, because I wanted to take the community gradually into the project. But I mean, you already started speaking in volumes about it, and which is really a beautiful thing. And I must say that we have seen that true passion for starts. Most of a good number of the investors right here have been on a few AMAs where you have spoken, and we have both seen that seamless relationship between you and Stefan. Even as you share this very propel this vision of Mind Token, and I I I was going to ask if you were in the same room, or the same city, because that there is this very seamless communication between you two, and
Yeah, Stefan and I
absolutely
have been
beautiful.
we've been friends for a long time. We actually met through I don't run this one anymore, but for 8 or 9 years, I ran the largest local politics-based Facebook group. We built it up from nothing. We're a community of 12,000 people, and before I moved on from that, we were up to 2,600 members, which is a good percentage of the town. And then I've also got a little meme group that Stefan and I hang out in. It's just a little locals group. But Stefan and I have been friends for quite some time. I've done some work on his property and so on. So yeah, we go back. Yeah.
Wow, wow, great, absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
So I am curious,
Mhm.
and so are the investors on this platform. Uh, you have a program where people could access telemedicine and mental health services support at the lowest possible investment cost,
Yeah.
and that's such a massive utility, and you want to offer long-term income stream alongside these healthcare facilities and other fun utilities to keep that volume up. How do you intend to merge all of these?
One piece at a time. Um, so right now, our utility is live, as I said, in 3 countries. Um, our staking will go live for Izanagi and Snafu, our partner projects, very, very soon. We've got other projects in the wings, but we've also got NFT systems in the works, and we've got plans for a NFT wellness game. We've got artisan and charity NFTs in the works. So we recognize that. So if you look at how a company like LifeWorks operates, I'll just give you the rundown because it compares to us really well. We're kind of modeled after how LifeWorks is modeled in our financials, in our tokenomics. And so what they have is they have 15,000 corporate clients, and through those 15,000 clients, they have 26 million users. LifeWorks collects a small amount of fees for every one of those 26 million users. And that helps them cover the overheads of having a general practitioner on call 24 hours a day in various countries, and having lawyers on retainer and so on and so on. And so our system works much like that, where, a user comes on, and our lowest pool is the 1 month pool, and it's a $50 market value stake. You pay a $5 onboarding fee, and so you're a total of $55 approximately to access the 1 month pool. And for that, you get an entire month of access to doctors, lawyers, fitness experts, financial planners, therapists, mastered accredited psychologists, workshops, assessment tools. It's really, really vast. And for comparison, a private service, like to call an e-health service and talk to a general practitioner one time in the United States is roughly 170 US dollars. To speak to a therapist in the UK 4 times in 1 month will cost you over 300 British pounds. And so the way our systems are set up enables, a lot of volume, but it also enables a lot of people to get the help that they may need. And so we're really positive on that. But we also recognize that whales want something to do. Not everybody is going to need mental health services. I mean, we got a lot of young strapping people in here who just, they don't have any health issues. They're mentally doing well, and they're looking at us as an investment and what's in it for us. And so we've got no cap on our top pool with 150% APYs. We've got, uh, NFTs coming to keep things interesting. We have the ability to hype things up because we're a corporation. We can interact with any registered charity on the planet. And so we've got a lot of different directions we can head to keep kind of both sides of the party entertained, if you will.
Wow. Speaking about the partnership with LifeWorks,
Mhm.
as you have said, as an already existing global well-being provider, uh, uh, how many years have they been running now?
56. They're a 56-year-old publicly traded company. Last year, they had a $700+ million Canadian revenue. They're currently in sales talks with the telecoms provider who's also moving into e-health, and I'm really excited about this, TELUS, and they're in sales talks with them for $2.3 billion right now. They're no joke.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You already started to talk about the NFTs. It is such a trendy topic even in today's in the crypto world today. You want to tell us about the NFTs that we understand that you have them, and what do you have a certain theme for the NFTs? Even most importantly, what is the utility as it connects with healthcare, and when would it be released? If we have any of such
Okay.
program.
So we've got, like I say, we've got several things going on with the NFTs. The first off is a thank you to our initial seed sailors. They've been with us for months, and they knew when they bought in that it was going to take some time for us to go to market, and they've been supportive and in the background, and they put their money up front. And so we'll be giving them some kind of one-off NFTs that will be originals in the system that will never be recreated. And inside of those, it'll have little hints towards what our wellness game is going to look like. I'll get to that a little bit more in a minute. The next phase of NFTs is going to be Stefan and I reaching out to local artists in our area and helping them create NFTs and helping them promote it and generate royalties for themselves, royalties for the project, and also royalties towards a charity. We had originally talked about having a charity tax, but we decided after some thought that we didn't want that downward pressure on the system. And so we moved the charity stuff to NFTs. That way it's in a speculative market. And if they're going hot and strong, then we're going to have lots of donations for charities, and we can start to expand on that. Next in line would be our wellness game. And this is something that I won't give too many details on, unfortunately. It's conceptually original, and it's also very easy to create. And if we share too much about it, you could base an entire project around this concept, and we just don't want to be front run on it because we're not ready to put it out yet, and we don't want anybody getting ahead of us. But basically what it amounts to is that it's a wellness NFT game where interacting with the game will allow you to start to mint NFTs that have their own specifics. They'll be, so you'll have the ability to make something that is yours, and then from there you'll be able to sell it on the market if you choose to. We've also got NFTs coming for projects that don't have tokens. So one of the big things with Mind Token is that one of the things that makes us so scalable is that our staking systems allows for us to continually partner out and reach out and just keep growing that networking. One thing we ran into pretty quick is that we have some great partners with AMA groups and so on, and of course they don't have tokens. And so what we're doing is we're tying the LifeWorks utility to NFTs for groups that we've dubbed non-token groups. So we'll be able to do like a combination. So let's just say a BeeHive / Mind Token NFT mint,
Right.
where the LifeWorks utility is tied to that NFT and then is renewable down the line. And so we're going to have a Web3 wallet connect where it's going to be able to recognize an NFT in your wallet and say, yeah, your subscription to LifeWorks is live. Here's your onboarding portal, and you'll be able to have that utility tied to the NFT. And then the last phase is more to do with metaverse and wellness clinics, but this stuff is still in conceptualization. I mean, as you can hear, we have lots to work on before we get to there. So I'll let that one sit as it is for now.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, because I was gonna get right to this question because I saw that on the website, and you just talked about it, but I'm still gonna really ask a little further, because what we have in the Beehive community is more like a family, and we watch out for our well-being. And so at that part where you talked about project owners and communities bringing their members, in that staking portal for the token, how can what do we have to do to benefit from this sort of service? Are there any requirements? Do we just have to be a community? What are the
Yeah,
requirements?
it just has to be a community. And what we would do again is we would create a cross promotional NFT. Um, you know, a good portion of it would go to your main mods and admin. I mean, one of the deals with partnering with us is that your mod teams are automatically added to the LifeWorks platform. And then from there, you would have a few NFTs that you could give off, or that we could sell on an NFT market, and people could buy it on a speculative market, and that would have the LifeWorks access on the NFTs. And then, of course, there would be a renewal process, so it would be much like a power upgrade to your NFT. And so, if you decided, you've used your year's subscription, you can go back into the system and upgrade your NFT and renew that subscription. And what that does is it allows us to network with people who don't have a token, because there's a lot of interest from groups. There's a lot of groups on Telegram. There's a lot of groups on Discord that don't have a token. And this also can reach out into other spaces. I mean, there's no reason that somebody who owns a coffee shop couldn't say, hey, can I buy an NFT pack for my coffee shop? So there's other applications to that as well that reach beyond Telegram and Discord. Of course, down the line, because we're a corporation, we're looking at fiat onboarding, but I think I'm probably doing that thing where I get ahead of you before you ask the question again, so I'll stop.
Yeah. I mean, you were so full of passion, and a lot of the time, I mean, the investors are listening, and they want to hear as much as they could absorb, from you speaking about the project. But we really appreciate that, that partnership. If we're going to have something like that, BeeHive with the Mind token, even to enjoy some of the services that you are offered. Some of us right here would like to know, what exactly are the services you would provide through the LifeWorks, and how do investors access that?
All right. So I think we should brave a quick screencast, and I'll move through it pretty quickly so we don't lag out and drop out of here. But it shows people what it is that we offer, because before I screencast, I'll explain it a little bit. When the average consumer goes to the LifeWorks website, they don't see Mind Token in there because it's a private space. And so I like to screencast this a little bit so that people can see, one, that we are actually inside of their app, and that two, they can see what the services are firsthand. So let me get that up right here. Okay, so first off, this is what the public sees, unless they work for a major corporation, when they come to the LifeWorks page. This is their landing page. This is our feed inside of the LifeWorks app, and you can see mindtoken.lifeworks.com admin. And so first off, front and center, on nearly every page, you see this Get Care Now button. And what this does is it puts you in touch immediately with an onboarding agent. And that onboarding agent is going to help facilitate where you need to go within the system. So if you're looking for a therapist, he's going to connect you. If you're looking for a lawyer, he's going to connect you, and so on. There's two ways that you can do that. There's Call Now, which is that's the Canadian 1-800 number. There's a different one for every country. And I'm not going to click on this because it takes a bit to load, but this is more of an IRC style chat. So if you're more comfortable just typing, then that's great. We've also got, pardon me, the whole family's a little bit sick, so.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So in here, if it ever loads, like I say, they have 26 million users, so the servers are stressing
One
out
thing,
sometimes.
hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, buddy.
Hey man, one thing I will add in regards to your question is really quick, while I have decent reception, is one of the things your community can look forward to if onboarded with us is that we will be holding a lot of little community challenges to do with the wellness challenges that are built within LifeWorks, and there'll be giveaways, like token giveaways for our token, lots of little things that we're coming up with that'll have to do directly with being onboarded onto the LifeWorks app.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
So
that's awesome stuff.
So here you can see you've got your telemedicine link. This is where you talk to a general practitioner. Now, the GP, the doctor, they can write prescriptions for basic maladies and send it off to your pharmacy. They can set you up with a specialist appointment in your area. They also come with referral discounts if you're in a place that doesn't have socialized medicine like the United States. And the same goes for the lawyers. So just having LifeWorks as that first point of contact can save you money way down the line because you've come into contact with one of their preferred service providers. And so that's, I think, a really powerful thing. You know, if you need a lawyer and you can get a 15 or 20% discount just because you start talking to one lawyer here, that's huge. It's big. And then off to the right there, we've got the Lift Fitness app. Again, I'm not going to bother clicking on it because it's quite extensive, but inside of here, you have access to fitness professionals, custom workout plans, customizable workout plans, little reminders, heart rate monitors, on and on and on. You can actually have an e-conference, a Microsoft Teams conference with a fitness expert, and they will help you design a custom workout program that suits your needs. And then the last thing I'll touch on in here is the assessment tools programs. And what that is that you can go through a LifeWorks assessment and it will ask you a bunch of relatively personal questions. And at the end of that assessment, it will point you to where in the system the algorithm feels that you could use some help, because this is a vast service and it can be kind of large and overwhelming. So as you can see, I've only got the bronze because I had like 8-9 months of the trial package in here, and I've already been through it all. But what it does is as you go through the assessments, you work your way into tiers from bronze, silver, and gold. And as you do that, it enables you to get purchase discounts from some of the big name brands. And so if you look in here, every one of these brands that you see on this advertisement page retains LifeWorks for some service, be it the employee assistance benefits programs or possibly managing their pension plan, because that's another service that LifeWorks provides. And the further you work up in the tiering, this isn't the full page, this is just kind of gives you an example, but the further you work up in the tiering, the bigger your discounts get. And you can see there's some serious brand names in here. You know, we've got Chef's Plate and Rogers and Avis. It's no joke. There's 15,000 corporate clients. But I'm going to stop this screencast before we lag out of here.
That's just awesome. Wow. It's good to see Stefan. Do you have your military cap on?
No, I've got my work cap on.
Oh yeah,
But I just wanted to come on real quick because I heard your comment of wondering if we were together. No, today we're not together. I'm at work.
Okay.
We have been together.
He did
sometimes.
an AMA right here once with me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean that relationship is so strong, and it we could see that each time you talk, each time you present on the AMA, all that passion, you know.
I appreciate that.
We can see that.
I'm gonna shut off my mic now and everything because I'm gonna wander across the yard again and I'll be in and out. So I just wanted to pop in, let you know I'm here listening.
Sure.
Great job, Ed. He said everything I would and more.
And more.
See you guys.
Yeah, we'll talk later, right?
Glad you could pop in. Glad you could pop in, man. I really appreciate that. So it's such tremendous benefit and utility looking at your presentation and so many bright ideas that are actually rolled out, you know, and we can access it at this moment. And in the US, it's really expensive having to speak with a doctor or, you know, a lawyer or in a program. I like to, you know, for some of us here, if you could just tell us the worth of the LifeWorks package, if they're seeking to have some of the services in the open market.
No, one of the deals that we have is that they're a corporation-based company, and so they don't actually sell this on the private market. Their competitors do, but they're much, much smaller and they're very, very pricey. And so that's the reason why the utility is tied to our staking, because it's, you know, it's a bonus for utilizing our systems. And so there's a little bit of juggling to bring this to the crypto market. However, you know, LifeWorks is fully aware of what we're doing. I mean, we run all of our basic materials by them. They're really, really supportive. In fact, we do have the option later on of creating a fiat onboarding portal with auto staking, and actually bring this to the public market. And so we're really excited for that. As a corporation, we can do things like that. And so that's definitely one of the long-term goals, is to have a third party set up whereby a fiat user can buy our tokens through a third party and have them auto staked and have that onboarding email pop up, and then reverse, to go the other way back and retrieve their tokens, or retrieve their original purchase. And so, like I say, there's so many ways that we're really, really scalable. It's really exciting stuff for us. We've been at this for a year, right? And now we're getting close to actually getting this thing off the ground, and so I'm just buzzing.
And you're providing all of the services. For what is the minimum that you could pay, that you could contribute to the staking to enjoy all of the services?
The lowest is going to be a $50 market value on the 1 month pool. And so you buy $50 worth of tokens, you stake them on the pool, you pay a $5 per month fee. So on the 1 month pool, that's $5. It's not exactly $5, it's based on BNB, but it's close. And then for that month, you get access to the legal, fitness, financial, and telemed and mental supports for 1 month. And then our top pool is $400 market value minimum stake, but there's no cap on that. And that's where, the whales want to play, they can play.
Nice.
Yeah.
So on this AMA, I believe that a good number of us have been on a few of your interactions with other communities, so that we're not exactly talking most of the basic questions. But, I just want to draw your attention to, there was this, understand that you made a donation, right? To a
Yes.
young man that is, riding a bike across Canada. So I heard something about that, on one of the interactions. So I would just want you to throw more light on that.
Sure.
How it affects the project.
So there's a gentleman who lives actually in the town I was born in, Ladysmith. And his name is Mitch Buxton. And what he is he's a mental health nurse. And so he actually teaches nursing at a local university here. And he also works at a mental health facility in Cowichan. And so he's really big on bringing, attention to mental health. And so what he did is he did a fundraiser where he rode his bike from Vancouver to Toronto, which is roughly 4,800 kilometers. And we made a donation to his cause. And we also put our mine token decaling on his chase car, because he's got a car behind him the whole route. And so they drove that chase car from Vancouver to Toronto. And during the process, they raised $12,000 for the Canadian Mental Health Association, which is a fully accredited Canadian mental health charity. In fact, they sanctioned him for the event and legitimized him in that way, because he is legitimate. And then he got another approximately $5,000 in private donations. So he almost hit the $20,000 mark for mental health in Canada. And so that was a really fun thing for us to be involved in. I'm pretty proud that we were able to help him out with that. But amazing guy. He's going to be on. Stefan's actually booking a meeting with him, and we're going to have him on to talk about his journey and talk about his life and what have you inside of Mine Token.
He completed his journey yet?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
That's a 30-day bike ride. He raised $12,000 on the GoFundMe site. It's a Canadian version of GoFundMe. I always forget the name. And then he raised another $5,000 in private. So he's sitting at around 17 or 18,000 to the Canadian Mental Health Association. Very cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
He's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. Sorry.
I believe if you showcased him on the community before, probably a video or something like a documentary of all of that journey, anything like that coming soon?
He's actually going to be on our Telegram, and we're going to have a good hour or two long VC with him and introduce him to our community and thank him for his service and all that good stuff. So he'll actually be in our group chatting with us.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So I just asked a few standard questions that the investors here would want to know about. Speaking about tokenomics, is your contract audited and things like that? If you just want to run through that, I
Sure.
understand that your taxes used to be what, 4%,
Yeah.
and you had to change that.
Yeah.
So working towards your pre-sale that you have just announced the date, what did you consider? Why you were changing that, and why was that? Can you just talk through
Sure.
all of that, the smart contract and tokenomics, before we get
Yep.
to the second part of the AMA?
No problem. So first off, Stefan and I, when we presented this project, we wanted to make it very, very clear to everybody that this isn't a flash in the pan cash grab, and we kept our taxes really, really low as a result. We then reached out to DGEM Launchpad, and Jules and their developer, went over our stuff and said, hey, we're worried about the longevity of your project based on these tokenomics. And these guys are pre-sale math experts. They bring projects to market. And they know what it takes for a project to survive. And so, I'm not too proud to back down from a position when I'm presented with evidence. And so, after talking with them, we did make some tokenomics changes. Initially we were at 4% buy and 4% sell, but we bumped it up for longevity of the staking system, longevity of marketing, making sure that we've got a good budget for post-launch marketing, and that our tokenomics are set up in a way that the project can see some X's and find good stability and good liquidity building. And so we ended up with a 6% buy and a 12% sell. And that's 1% to liquidity, 2% to operations, 1% to staking, and 2% to marketing. And then we're looking at 2% sell, 2% or 12% sell, 2% to operations, 3% to marketing, 4% to staking, and 3% to liquidity. The only tax that didn't change in there was the operations tax. That's Stefan and I's pay. So our pay is based on 1% of volume. And of course, if we start hitting massive market caps, we'll adjust that down. But the big thing is that we wanted to be very, very clear that this project is built for sustainability, longevity, and to bring these services to people who need it. Yeah. And then what was the second part? You asked me like 3 questions
Yeah.
at once there.
If your smart contract is audited,
Oh, sure.
you've been
It's
KYC'd.
Okay. Yeah, I have been. Sorry, I've got somebody at the door there. We have been KYC'd with Anonymous. We're also doing a secondary KYC with Seek Token. And then our contract will be sent off to audit actually most likely today. Our dev is just in there finalizing right now. So our trading contract will be audited before launch. Our staking contract, audits are expensive. Stefan and I have paid for everything out of pocket up until this point. And so the dev from DGEM is going to go over that contract and they're going to vouch for it. And then we'll end up doing an audit on it post-launch. That's unfortunate, but it's just one of those things where these things get really, really pricey really fast. Staking contracts are expensive to audit. That said, our dev is well respected in the space, and he has used this contract on multiple tokens. It's never been exploited. He's one of those devs who show up in random tokens and be like, hey, psst, change code, change this line of code to this or you'll get exploited. He's one of those guys. And so we're really comfortable with him. And then of course, having DGEM back us up is positive, and our trading contract will be audited actually in the next day or so. So I think we're in good shape with that stuff.
Great. You just said at the beginning of the AMA that your pre-sale has been slated for what date exactly?
We're looking at the 20th. So our yeah.
All right.
And then we'll launch 48 hours after that. After we fill, we'll launch.
Okay. I have no doubt. I have no doubt about that. Mine token is pretty much everywhere. In the last 1 week, 2 weeks, I want to think that mine token is beyond 10 AMAs. Because so much marketing in place. There's so many communities are willing to speak with the mine token as you are willing to collaborate. And what are your further marketing plans? Even now that we have a pre-sale date, what more are you doing regarding marketing?
Well, the most powerful thing that we have, and I mean, I love the AMAs because, I really believe that people can sense if you're passionate about what you're doing. There's
Exactly.
there body language tells a lot about who you're dealing with, and I really believe in the power of AMAs because you make an actual connection with people. That said, what's truly strong with our project is the ability to very quickly partner with other projects, provide them with that staking utility, give their communities and teams access to these LifeWorks utilities, and then cross promotion with them, right? And so, for instance, right now we're talking with the non-adocs about doing AMAs in each group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've done cross promotional AMAs with Izanagi as well, and so that's a way that projects can, they're not only getting exposed to our community, they're getting exposed to our partner communities when they come on board with us. They're getting a staking system at a fraction of what it would cost them to develop it themselves, and it comes with that LifeWorks utility. And so that networking potential can push us a long, long way. I mean, you imagine if Mind Token lands a 30,000 holder group. What does that do for Mind Token when you consider that, we're starting with a 250 BNB raise and, going to market with maybe 180 or $200,000, fully diluted market cap? We'd go ballistic. Just that attention from those partnerships alone is a big part of our marketing strategy. We're going to have bounties out once we get past launch. We're going to actually, if you connect us with a project and it turns into a partnership, we're going to pay you for your service.
Wow.
And so, that's one of the ways. Conda Labs, that's our marketing company. They're also working on a really innovative marketing system involving a partnership between AMA groups and so on. If he's around and wants to speak to that, he can, but if he doesn't, I'll leave it there because that's kind of his baby and I don't want to blow up any of his plans, but it's unique and it's special and I'm really excited about it. And again, that was one of the reasons that we had our tokenomics changes, is to make sure that we had a healthy post-launch marketing budget. Both with funds left over from the raise, but also, going into the wallet from taxation. And so, you're not going to see a lot out of us as far as, call groups telling people to join our channel and say done, and things like that. Our group is really, really organic. We started off, we filled the first half of our pre-sale, of our seed sale, on word of mouth and $800 in marketing. We just started off very intentionally slow because we wanted long-termers, people who believe in what we're doing, who see the vision, and who are going to stake and tell their friends and be a part of us. And so, it's wonderful because the people that we've managed to bring on in those early sales, not one of them is saying, "Oh my God, when are you launching?" They know we're working. They've seen us, right? I mean, we've been at this for a year, and we just want to bring it to market as safely and properly as we can because longevity is the goal here. Yeah.
I'll touch on the marketing.
There he goes.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys for having us here, first of all. But yeah, when it comes to marketing for this token, this is a very responsible project. There's a lot at stake. There's people's lives are at stake when it comes to mental health and health in general. So I really wanted to be as responsible as the team here when it comes to marketing and really get the right eyes on the project, the right people in the Telegram groups, give the whitelist to the right people, people that are actually interested in the project and not just looking to make a quick 1.5, 2x, 4x, 10x at launch, So yeah, so what we're doing differently with this one is we're not going around paying for AMAs or paying for pin posts and giving out 5 or 6 whitelists to each group and hoping, that the people will win the whitelist and ape into the project. What we're doing is really taking a more organic and a more personal approach to marketing with this. So I partnered up with, right now it's 5 or 6 call channels. And what we're going to do is instead of going and paying them for an AMA or paying them for a pin post, they're going to do an ongoing promotion, and it's going to pretty much start tomorrow, and it's going to go all the way up until pre-sale. So these groups will be daily, weekly, talking about the project, sending people over, having contests, having us in for AMAs, putting up pin posts and all that stuff, and we're gonna hand out the whitelist to people that are actually interested in the project, and really, build the community organically and have people actually in there talking and asking questions and just getting excited for the launch and the utility that we have and all the future utilities we have. So yeah, that's my vision for this project and how I want to market it. But yeah, if you guys want to get in on the party, just feel free to DM me. I'm trying to build this community of call channels. I'm trying to build it up, so.
Great, absolutely great.
Yeah.
Hearing from you, we would really love that, to jump on that. We are a very organic community, and when I ask the question about marketing, most times when we ask that kind of question on this platform, what we get is project devs talking about getting in the big collars, and you're mentioning these big names, and what you get is that a lot of people come in when these big callers make their calls, and they just want to snatch a few X's and dump on the chart, and that's bad for the project. But you are talking here about an organic, passion-driven interest, that people have to have for the project, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. You have partnerships going on with a lot of willing communities. You have a robust utility. I mean, there's no limit to where this could go. I really want to say congratulations in advance, because I see you filling that pre-sale. What's the hard cap?
200.
Oh, I mean, you're gonna smash that.
Yeah, it's a very responsible hard cap, and it also leaves a lot of room for buy pressure at launch, and although we're going organic with this, it's growing, and when we really start pushing off this marketing campaign, it's gonna really start to grow, and it's really gonna start to get active in there. And like you mentioned with the bigger callers, like I know all the bigger callers. I'm actually talking to them about this project already, so those things are all on the table as well, and all the chart management marketing is there as well. It's not. I feel like it won't really be needed with this project though, because of just the potential for partnerships, and not just the potential, but the partnerships that we're building daily. Like I'm sending these guys 2 to 3 different projects or 2 to 3 different call owners to talk to daily, and they're starting to work in those partnerships. So I really feel it's something that's going to be huge.
It's gonna be huge. I see the support, and I mean, it's
We
absolutely. Yeah, you want to say something?
we kept our ask very intentionally low. I mean, not just because of bear market stuff. I mean, I've seen a few projects who have somewhat similar motivations. I won't go any further than that, but raise much more. But our concern is more that, when we launch, we've got good potential for X's. When that retraction comes, it's above that pre-sale price, and that our early investors are happy, and we've got a good floor to grow from. And if we went to a much higher ask, I think we could pull it off. But I don't see it being beneficial to the long-term health of the project, and that's above all. So, we very intentionally kept that ask very low, just like we very intentionally launched our Telegram quietly and slowly, and are building up to this crescendo, if you will.
Yeah, and I see the level of activity. Everyone is really participating in the community compared to other projects where it's just botted and that kind of thing. We could see the passion, and even for the true utility that you have. All right, so I noticed the community really wants to ask their questions. I can see hands up. I'm done with my questions. I don't know if any of you, Stefan or Z, have anything more to say that we've not talked about before we get to the community questions.
Stefan's giving me hell in the chat there. He says, "Don't forget to mention the well." We made a personal contribution to building a well in Pakistan. So that's another charitable thing that we've done before launch.
Okay.
We did that through Todd Hart, He's a really great promoter. He's got the Eyes on Crypto channel on YouTube, and he does some Twitter space stuff as well. And he's been a great connection for us and has helped us reach out to a lot of different people and groups. And so we're grateful for our interactions with him as well.
Oh, amazing, amazing. I mean, you don't cease to amaze us. Really understand that even after lunch, we're gonna have more of this fantastic ideas rolled out. So great stuff. All right, so we'll just, if it's okay by you, we'll just take a few questions from the community.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Yeah, is that okay?
It's my favorite part.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you're new to this, if you want to ask a question, all you just need to do at this time is raise your hand by tapping the middle button on your screen. That raises your hand. If you get unmuted, you can tap, and it turns green, and you can ask your question. So, I just hold on a bit. I'm gonna unmute Lilith.
Hi.
Hey, Lilith.
So,
Hi, Lilith.
hello.
How you doing?
So I have two questions. First will be, I'd also like to know if the product services that you guys are talking about is open in worldwide, or you're gonna include the services on Asian countries also, such as us, Southeast Asian countries, since Asian countries like us is not really open on mental health issues, and they have the stigma that mental illness is not real, especially on the Philippines. And I think that your project would be a great help for those people that can afford to have such services like your project. So since it's really hard to get it, that's my first question.
All right. Well, the mental health services are available in over 180 countries. If you have an internet connection, you can access the services. In fact, we have a member right now who we've onboarded, and they're in Taiwan, and they've been able to fully access the services. Not the gold package, but the mental health services. When it comes to the gold package, and that entails the telemedicine as well as the legal advice, that's available through LifeWorks in 60 countries. And so right now it's live in Canada, the US, and the United Kingdom. But after launch, we'll be able to continually be adding different countries. If we do find that we have a gap in our market, like LifeWorks doesn't reach somewhere where we have a large target demographic, keep in mind that because we are a corporation, we can reach out to other utility providers and do a similar thing through them. And so if we find out that somewhere in the South Pacific, LifeWorks doesn't service, but another company does, then we can start to fill those gaps in the market by reaching out to other companies.
Nice. So my last question will be, this might be an irrelevant question, but since your project is all about raising mental health awareness on crypto and in every parts of the world, so I'd like to know, as a dev and crypto enthusiast yourself, what are your thoughts on people who allegedly took their lives on the Luna crash case and the crypto market right now, and what will be your advice?
Sorry. Can you ask that last part again? I didn't quite catch it.
What are your thoughts on the people who allegedly took their lives on the Luna crash, and what will be your advices, and what's your favorite quotation that really helps your mental health, and which it could help us also?
Okay, I'll start with the favorite quote. And I'm not really a religious person, but my grandmother really was, and this one always stuck with me. My grandmother always said, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans. As far as the Luna thing, Celsius thing, and all the different problems that have come up, I mean, it's an absolute tragedy, and unfortunately, it's more the norm than not the norm. Every bear market, we have multiple projects that people think are bulletproof going down, and people have their whole life savings in it. People treated Celsius like a bank, and they got liquidated. And so it's an absolute tragedy, and it's one of those things where we strive for decentralization in this space. We don't want the big governments and the SEC regulating everything down our throats, but we're not self-policing. if we don't police the space, if we don't expose bad actors, then we can expect to have regulations absolutely crammed down our throats. And that to me takes away the actual purpose of DeFi being your own bank and being able to participate in an economy that'll, there are a couple billion people in the world who have no access to traditional financial services. And so when we have these companies taking out huge swaths of the crypto market cap, not only are we forcing ourselves into a regulatory wall, not only are people losing their lives and their livelihoods over it, but we're also excluding, when those regulations come, those 2 billion people who have no access to traditional financial services, and this is a way out. If you look at Turkey right now, they're almost at 80% inflation. Those guys are suffering. So of course, crypto is big there. We don't want regulations stopping them from accessing that ability to get out of that economy. It's really tough. We need self-policing in the space. I don't know how that comes about, but it's something we need. And you've got companies like Anonymous that are making those steps, using KYC systems with, biometrics and so on, and at least having the basic information about people like myself, so that if I did something terrible to you, those guys are going to take me to the authorities. And I think that's, but the frameworks aren't there to do anything about it yet. So it's really hard to self-police because we have no way to punish the bad actors. It's a really tricky situation. Something will come out of it. It'll evolve in one direction or another. I'm hoping that it's a self-policing situation and that we're not having regulations shoved down our throats, but something's got to change. People's lives are on the line and people's livelihoods, the whole thing was a tragedy. I don't know what to say to that.
Well said. Thank you for answering. That was a great answer.
I think it's a. Thank you so much, Lilith. I think it was a beautiful question right there. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, thanks, Lil.
We're gonna take one more question.
Okay.
Hold on a bit. Amy Pearl, that's one Amy. You could ask your question. Amy, you have been unmuted.
Hello, guys.
Amy?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'll personally say I actually like your project. It's the first of a kind I've seen in the crypto space, and it's unique.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So my question is, aside the user that stakes, can your family members?
Oh yes.
Oh my
Okay,
God, I think we lost her there.
She's breaking up, but I think I caught the base of her question.
Members benefit from the healthcare services as well, or does each member's spouse relative? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're lagging pretty good, but I think what you're asking, basically, if anyone who stakes on our platform, they get access to the services, but their immediate family also gets access, and so your spouse, your children, etc. So it's not just you. When you stake, it's also your wife or your husband, your children get access to all of these services as well. So it's quite a full package.
Wow. That's awesome. That's good. That's actually good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Amy, right there. I think that's a good question.
That was a good question because I missed it.
Thank you for asking. All right. Just a minute. All right, who do we have here? Okay, let's have Jeff Walter. Jeff Walter, you're muted. Hello, Jeff Walter.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jeff.
Are you there?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Doing great. So, So, can you guys hear me properly?
I hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So, actually,
Oh,
about
I think.
the okay, I actually just wanted to know about the uh concerning the workers you guys would be partnering with. I just wanted to know, would there be professional doctors in different locations who would be having a partnership together, and would there be a means of communication among those doctors?
Okay. So here's the thing: is that Mind Token doesn't provide you with doctors or therapists or any of that. We facilitate the interaction between our community and LifeWorks. LifeWorks has all of the legal framework set up in all of the different countries that they service. And so they have doctors in the UK, they have doctors in the United States and in Canada and, in 60 countries in the world. And then they've got mental health in 180 plus countries. And so, these doctors are fully registered and legal in the countries they work in. It has nothing to do with myself offering any of these services. Now, when it comes to facilitation, there are some things that we can do. We have to make sure that we're far removed from liability. We're far removed from malpractice lawsuits, and especially we're far removed from situations where people in our community or people using these services end up being harmed. And so, when we get to the metaverse aspect of things, and again, this is still in conceptualization, it's a long ways away. We have lots to work on, but that's where we would start to look at, community workshops. We would start looking at facilitating Narcotics and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, or group therapies for PTSD or spousal abuse, and so on and so on. And there's also another thing coming up that we're not ready to discuss yet, that will do some facilitation along those lines as well. But the doctor stuff is all under the roof of LifeWorks, and it's a great system because, being a 56-year-old corporation, they're following the laws. Their doctors are real doctors. Their therapists are real therapists. They cannot do it any other way. And can you imagine if I had to understand the legal framework of every country we brought utilities like this into, and then reach out and retain doctors? The whole thing wouldn't be feasible without millions of investment. So this system works out really well because everybody you interact with is legitimate, and so the community is safe with this company, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm safe. I mean, I own a corporation. I can be sued. I don't want to be sued.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That's pretty
All
good.
right.
That's pretty good. You guys have got one of the best projects of the year. So
Wow.
yeah, great
Thank
stuff.
you. I appreciate
Cheers,
that.
guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely a wonderful contribution from Jeff Walter. Jeff Walter is partner with the BeeHive. He is the owner of Time Sailors. We're glad to have you
Nice.
contribute to our AMA. Thank you for that question, Jeff.
You're totally on my radar, Time Sailors. I'm coming for you.
Oh yeah, I thought we already had an AMA
Yeah,
with
sure.
him. It's all right. Okay, all right. Thank you for that, Jeff. Once again, so I think we're gonna take 2 more questions, and then
Oh, you broke up again there, bro.
we'll be done with the community questions for the day. We have Mikey Crypto. Mikey Crypto, you can ask your question. You have been muted.
Hi, am I audible?
Is Mikey right there?
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yes, sir.
Mikey. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're good. Ask your question,
We
Mikey.
can hear
Am
you.
I audible? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, this is a great project. And
Yes.
Sweet Monkey, kudos to you. I didn't do the
We can hear
presentation.
you.
I love your enthusiasm. You're natural. So I'm
Thank you.
just curious. Like you explained a lot of things, and I got your explanation. But I'm just curious. What about people that are not into cryptocurrency? What have we done to attract new users to mine token who are not yet familiar with cryptocurrency? Will there be like a direct purchase from a bank card? Can they pay with a credit card, or will there be any opportunity for them?
So yeah, there's a couple of ways that we can go about that. The first would be to use a third party with an auto staking system. Again, we keep all of this stuff at arm's length so as to avoid being exposed to potential liabilities. And so when it comes to fiat onboarding, we would enable a third party, and they would auto stake and kind of act as a middleman for these systems. The other option is we're in talks with a potential partner who has a fiat onboarding ramp, and we're looking into possibilities as to how to utilize that system. But given that we are a corporation, that is a direction that we can take. We've also got another friend who has a really interesting app that could be adapted to these purposes, and so we've got 3 different directions we can go with that. We're still market researching a little bit about what the best approach for that is going to be. I mean, as I say, being a corporation, that's something that we can absolutely do. We can register a third business. We can, we can retain other payment platforms. And so it's still a little bit up in the air which direction that's going to head, but fiat onboarding is absolutely in our roadmap. In fact, I could see us, because we are a corporation, in a couple of years, we may actually go the publicly traded route as well, and potentially hold an IPO and really push into the retail market. But, right now, obviously, we're focused on, getting the utility out there, getting those partnerships happening, making sure our early investors are all happy and snug and safe. And so the answer is yes, that's absolutely a possibility. Which direction it's going to head, we're not 100% on yet, but we have options in front of us. And it's definitely a goal. I'd like to see within 3 to 5 years us be a publicly traded company.
Okay, that's nice. Mental health issue affects almost everyone on earth. So there are some that are not into cryptocurrency, but they would love to have like a therapy. So yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Thank you.
Thank you. You might be breaking up there again, Bitfrost. If you're talking, I'm not hearing it.
Beautiful response, Tom. Yeah.
Sure.
Can you guys hear me now?
No, I got you.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, I hear you, Bitfrost.
Oh,
thanks, Mikey.
All right. Thank you for that question.
Yeah,
Mikey.
I got you. It seems you went off for a bit. You'll explain it to
Mikey,
us.
for that question.
Okay.
All right. We really appreciate that. All right. So we're going to have one more question. I see a lot of hands, a lot of people enthusiastic about your project. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to take all of the questions because of time. We don't want to take too much of the devs' time.
But they can always come into our chat.
So we'll give more. Sure, they could always come into the chat. Type the questions. Feel free to. I'll be leaving the official links to the Mine Token community where you can leave your questions.
Great.
And sure, great. So I'm gonna unmute one last person.
Right.
Very enthusiastic member of the community. All right. I think embedded in her question will probably be a proposal. So. Right. Lobby, you're allowed to speak.
You said a proposal. That's very funny. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I knew that you're probably gonna. Yeah. You do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask. Because when he actually mentioned, when he said it's coming for us, because I'm actually the time manager. I mean, I'm the manager for Time Sailors Community. So immediately I heard you said you are coming for us, I sent you a message immediately. I'm like, wow. All right, so we'll be expecting, and I will be expecting your reply. Okay, so I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
we will be having a time with the doctors, right? I mean, for the mental thing, where we will communicate to them and all, and sometimes they might want to see us and see how we're faring. Um, how will they do it? Like well, let's sometimes because I've actually been in this situation before. All right, mental situation. I didn't say I'm crazy. I'm not. Okay, so I had a time with my doctor, and all the time
Okay.
all the time you just have to like see me and talk. But the fact that I'm actually we are seeing each other, even BC, video call. Sometimes I had to draw back and not try to like discuss with him some things because he's actually looking at me. All right. So and I've noticed that this is very common between these doctors. They will want to like look at your face and be like, okay, is this person really normal? That kind of thing. So what if you don't want to like have this kind of visual contact with the doctor? How will they accept this kind of thing when when you're having a moment with them?
Uh, I'm not quite sure what your question is
I
there.
think
Um,
Okay.
I think she's, if I get it right, she is inquiring about, she's asking, do they necessarily have to see the client, the one that's in need of mental
uh,
health or whatever, what kind of
there's
care? Do they have to see them to interact with them?
Okay, so for the mental health services, you have two options. You can either go onto an IRC style chat, um, or you can go into a Microsoft Teams and actually see face to face like we are now. Um, so you do have that option. And I would also add to that we had the members directory system removed from the Mind Token feed in the LifeWorks app, and we did that so that it wouldn't dox community members to one another. And so we don't actually know who you are when you stake through us. All we get is your email. So unless your email has your name in it, like mine, um, we don't know who you are. Now that said, of course, LifeWorks is a fully registered corporation. There are laws in place. They have to know who you are, but there's also protections for clients in healthcare. And so LifeWorks will know who you are, but they're not legally allowed to tell anybody. And so you do have anonymity with Mind Token, but you won't have anonymity with a therapist. But you can do I highly doubt that a therapist is going to force you to turn your camera on a Microsoft Teams meeting. With a doctor, it might be required if they're trying to diagnose a malady and they're looking for anemia or something along those lines. But yeah, you can talk in a fairly anonymous setting with a therapist at LifeWorks. Absolutely.
Mm, that's just my question. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Or just by
Um,
telephone.
oh yeah, that kind of thing. I actually love that.
Yeah.
But that would actually be expensive. And in my country, all right, cryptocurrency is not acceptable. So
Okay.
if they are to call me on phone, is it like if I want to pay them, we have to like be in your token, right?
No. You've already paid. So you as the user, as the Mind Token member, would purchase your tokens. You would stake them in our system, and then what happens is a little window pops up, and you put your email into that window. That gets forwarded to us, and we forward it again to LifeWorks in a CSV file. That'll actually be automated shortly, so we're taking that manual step out, but just for the time being, it's set up that way. And then from there, you call LifeWorks. And within a couple of minutes you're speaking to somebody. So there's a different 1-800 number for each country. Depending on where you are, the number will be different. But yeah, once you're in the system, you just call them up, you tell them who you are, and they send you to the person you need to be speaking to. It's really quite simple.
But when you're talking about this cell phone, I'm very sorry for taking little time. When you're talking about this cell phone call, do you know that it actually costs a lot?
Well, it's a 1-800
Okay, I
number.
think,
It's a toll-free number. and it's regional per country. So like I have a 1-800 number for Canada. It costs me nothing to call it. And again, you're already onboarded onto their system, so you're not paying anything when you talk to these guys because you've already staked in. So what happens is when you buy Mine Token and stake it, or you buy one of our partner projects and stake their token in the Mine Token portal, you essentially, as far as LifeWorks is concerned, are our employees. Okay. And as such, you have access to all of these benefits. Your membership fee is paid. You're done. You just need to access the services. There's no more cost.
No, that's fantastic. All right. So that's all my questions. Thank you so much for your reply.
No problem.
And I'm waiting for your reply in my DM.
I knew that she was going to leave a proposal after her question. So
That's what I'm
Lavi, thank you.
right?
Thank you so much for that question. I really think it's a really important question because I was going to ask also if the calls were toll free, and you just told us that. I mean, it is, and it's great stuff. Great question. Thank you for that, Lobby.
I've actually never had that question before, and I'm surprised that that's the first time that's come up. So that's good one.
Good one right there.
Something else on my radar.
So very, very important to mention today. We have a number of our partner call channels with us here. If we just have a few minutes, I know we've taken so much of your time already. So if you just have 10 minutes before we close, we just let. Is it okay? You have
it's absolutely fine. No problem.
Okay, great. So I'll just let. I see Maxwell in the building. Maxwell is the owner of Boo Lounge. I believe you know Maxwell. You only had an AMA a few days ago. So Maxwell, I don't know if you have any few things to say.
Oh yes, I've hosted this guy, so nothing much to say. I don't have a question. I've literally understood the project from the down to the top. So you guys are just have to put some little hard work and get this project going in the space and make some of the bigger core channels and to the moon with you guys. So we'll keep contact and beautiful. Thanks, Brad, for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you for that, Maxwell. We have Zuel, owner of Future Whales. So if you could just leave your takes about this awesome project.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Zoo.
Yeah. Actually, this is really a great AMA. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time in this AMA. It's really a great project, man. Yeah, so keep it up, and we are always here to support the Mine Token project because I'm really so bullish about this project. It's a great,
awesome.
So great stuff, man. Yeah, it was
Thank
really
you.
a great. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah, so you can check your DM. Yeah.
Sure. By the end of this, I'll have about 40 of them.
think,
so give me time.
Sure. I believe that you can. I mean that there's so much. A lot of communities want to partner, want to have interact with Mine Token, and it just affirms the fact that it's such a beautiful project. And
thanks, guys.
Yeah, to the moon. We can wait to work. To begin working towards the pre-sale. All right. So I think if anyone has anything to say, Chief Lyrist, he's an admin in the Beehive colony. Do you have anything to say, Dante? Then we could just close for today.
Well.
Oh yes. So if no one has anything, okay.
Really prepared. Big thumbs up to you,
Dante,
there.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you, Dante.
I just want to appreciate the dev. He was really prepared for the AMA. He was really eloquent, human. The project is really well. Just know that we are here to support. Wherever you need our support, we always here. Project man.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
that.
All right.
thank you.
Thank you for that positive word, Dante. Chief lyricist, if you're there, just have the last stake, and then we can close the AMA.
Yeah, nice project. I've been following my token for a while now.
I've been following
From
your
one.
lyrics in various chats.
Yeah,
Really.
somebody had to say that.
I mean, so
You're popular, man.
yeah, I even got one. I think I can't remember, but I got I think 1 month subscription kind of
Nice.
from one AME one time like that. I still have it on my phone.
Nice.
And you see, the project is something that's extraordinary because that's to do with the mental health of people. Without your mental health, you're nowhere. So I'm really elated to know that there's such a project.
Awesome.
So keep up the good work.
Wow.
I
And I
appreciate
know
you.
you're gonna reach the pinnacle at the end of the day.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to add to that, you know, when Stefan and I started out, one of the big things that we were both in agreement on is that if somebody's in crisis, we're not going to turn them away. And so if there's anybody here or anybody you know that could utilize any of these services, you know, all it takes is a DM. Give us an email address and we'll onboard you for a month and help get you over that cusp. And so, you know, even though our staking's not live yet, the utilities are. We've onboarded about 50 people so far who could just use a little bit of help. And, you know, we did that out of our own pockets and we'll continue to do that. The vast majority of people out there aren't going to try and abuse us for something along these lines. And if one or two slip through, that's okay. So, you know, I just want to put it out there that, you know, very soon our staking will be live for our partner projects. At launch, our staking will be live for our project. And these utilities will be accessible from multiple directions. But, you know, if a person can't afford it or they need that help sooner, please send Stefan or I a DM. Give us an email address. We'll onboard you. No questions asked. We don't need your life story. You know, if you want to share it, you can. But if you don't want to, you know, we're not judging. We're not asking questions. We'll just put you in the system. So.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Amazing right there. All right. So I think that's the much that we could take for today. Amazing time today on the VC, getting to know the project Mind Token, and
awesome.
We want to thank you, Ed. I don't know, is Stefan still in the building? We want to thank Stefan and Z from Conda, right? Conda Labs for stopping by. And yes.
Hey, Days.
Hey, this is Days work with Conda Labs. I work with Z Conda. I just wanted to remind everybody in your community before we take off that if they're interested in getting a whitelist for the pre-sale, and I highly recommend they do it, they can head over to the Mind Token Telegram group, hang around. There's going to be a post pinned in there very soon on how they could go about getting themselves onto the whitelist. And yeah, we had a little early run, private run on those, and they're filling up fast. People are really pledging to this project. They really believe in the project. So if they're interested, make sure you get over to the Mind Token Telegram group and look out for that post.
Yeah, sure. Personally, I have been waiting for the pre-sale. So if the whitelist, if we started giving out whitelists, we want some. And so, sure. I mean, we're very enthusiastic about the Mind Token, and we'll do our bit to make sure that this all works out. So guys, having listened to all that the devs have talked about, you want to do your due diligence by visiting their website and you know, joining their Telegram. You can ask them any questions that you might have. Sure, I believe there will be a task somewhere in the Telegram to that you might have to fill to get a whitelist. You know, go about that. And all right, so we have come to the end of the AMA. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ed. Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.
Thank you, from Condo Labs.
Condo Labs.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Thanks for your participation.
I appreciate you. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, really appreciate that. Thanks for coming out, guys. All right, bye.
Be well, guys.